What are you hoping that voters are going to approve in November?
Hopefully they're going to approve the 1.2 mil replacement levy to help us continue to develop the county trail and greenway master plan. As you know, this trail plan has over 300 miles of trail on it. We have 120 miles of them open. And the number one request we get is that people want us to do more connectivity of this trail system. So there's 11 communities we're working with right now who actively are interested in extending the trails into their communities. Some of those are Hartville, Canal Fulton, Minerva, North Canton, Jackson, to name a few, but they're all looking for more trails. In order for us to do that, we need to have the match money and the personnel to maintain them as we expand the system.
And basically, you have a 1 mil levy now that raises roughly about $7 million a year. And,
Yes.
and basically, you were asking the voters to approve a 1 mil replacement, which would go to current property valuation,
Right.
plus 0.2 mil additional. And this would generate about $10 million a year. And I believe that's an increase of about $16.68 per $100,000 in home value.
That's correct.
And so if
That's an annual increase. It's about $1.39 a month out-of-pocket cost.
If the voters approve that, then what do you reasonably believe you can do with those funds over the 8-year period of the levy?
Well, we've already developed a 5-year plan for the next 5 years that's online, but we project over the 8 years to continue what we've done the past 8 years. And I can say in the last 5 years, we've opened up 40 miles of trail. We hope to open up at least that much over the next 8 years. Again, some of that's variable depending on available right-of-way and so forth, but we're optimistic that over 8 years we could open up another 30 to 40 miles.
And and I understand you told me earlier that you can't really make a guarantee, where that would be. But what are some good candidates for getting that funding?
Good candidates are the Iron Horse Trail. We already
Can you show me on the map where that is roughly?
The Iron Horse Trail is already being built from the lake through Alliance down to about here, and we're looking to extend it to here. That's right away we currently own. There's right away available in this area that we could extend the trail from Minerva out towards Perry Township. We own all of this.
Is that the nickel plate or is that
That's
Iron
the
Horse?
nickel plate.
Okay, that's nickel plate
Yeah,
trail.
this is Iron Horse. This is nickel plate. We have right away from, I didn't mention this before, but we have right away on the west side of the river from Maslin to Navarre, which is would be an extension of the old Muskingum Trail. If you go north of town of Maslin, you know we have trails on both sides of the river. We're trying to do that through the whole county. We already control the railroad from Maslin to Navarre. So that's another potential new trail that could open up in the next 8 years.
And what's the name of that trail again?
That's the old Muskingum Trail.
Okay.
That's parallel to the towpath trail on the west side of the river. Towpath's on the east side of the river. The old Muskingum is on the west side. Our goal is to have a trail county line to county line on both sides of the river so we don't have the crowding challenges that Cuyahoga Valley does. If you've been up to Cuyahoga Valley National Park, it can be pretty busy on the weekends. We hope to alleviate that by having a parallel trail through the whole corridor, which therefore splits the traffic in half.
Oh, you're looking to extend the old Muskingum Trail.
Yes.
It's on the west side
It's
of the
on
canal.
the west side.
And it would go, how far down are you looking to extend it?
Right, well,
It goes to Maslin?
right now we have control of the right-of-way from Navarre to Maslin. This stretch.
Okay,
through
so
here.
you're looking to stretch, so
So we wanna
that's got to be
extend
what,
that.
3-4 miles?
Yeah, that's easily 4 miles.
Oh, okay.
And we already control that right-of-way. We do not have anything from Navarre to the county line on the west side. That's all farmland. We haven't even talked to anybody down there, but that would be, when we get this done, then we would look at the next phase. Like I said, long-term, we feel having a trail on both sides of the river makes it more valuable compared to some of the more crowded areas of the trail, simply because people do like loops. They like to go up one side and down the other. A lot of people do that already from 40 Corners up to Canal Fulton. That's already got the trail on both sides of the river. Well, we'll continue to develop Tamashanner Park, making it more public accessible, getting the trails built there, getting shelters built there, and other amenities that the master plan, that's also on our website. The board just adopted that master plan 2 months ago.
And you talked about restrooms.
And restrooms. So anywhere we can partner or have access to utilities where we can put a full restroom in, and we're looking at places like Petros Park. A couple
And
others.
how much is a restroom normally to
Anywhere
build?
from 100,000 to 500,000, and that depends on the proximity of utilities, and also do you build a shelter with it or just the restroom? If you're building a shelter, then you've got extra parking and all those things that go with it. So we're looking at possibly, I mentioned Tammy, Fry Family Park in East Sparta would be a candidate for another restroom facility as we open up that park